What is going on, fellas?
What's going on?
Hello. Yep. Hi, guys.
Welcome to Mid South Sports Report podcast weekly edition, episode number 7. We're 7 episodes so far in. Anything exciting going on with y'all two?
Nah, not for me. I don't reckon.
The ankle's healing up, boys. We're on the road to recovery. Physio starts in a couple weeks, so
Well, that's
we'll
good.
be back. We'll
We
be
won't get
back
you
to the
back.
simulator soon, kicking Aiden Bush's butt here at some point.
That's right. That's right. Uh, Gotta give a shout out to Jerry's Muffler and Tires. Appreciate what they jumped on board as a sponsor. If you need any tires and mufflers around the Bowling Green, Kentucky area, be sure to check them out. He does all sorts of things: mufflers, tires, brakes, stuff like that. So if you need to get anything done, his number is 270-842-7753. So be sure to hit him up. I got me a new set, so I'm ready to rock and roll for another 60,000. Coming up on the show today, we've got 2020 Pro Late Model Champion Dylan Fetcho. They open the season up at Nashville this Saturday night. They got legends down there this week. I know they had Highland Rim run Highland Rims today, tomorrow. Practice day is on Thursday, or practice day is on Friday, and then race on Friday, and then have another race. It's a little spring week they have started out this year. So I know Hunter Wright, he's already picked up 1 or 2 wins. I think 2 wins in the pro division against some tough competition. So congrats to him. Also got Travis Ashley coming on later on. Hopefully he can get him on if cell service is not bad enough. 2013 Southern Outlaw late model champion. He's coming on as well. So we got pretty good. We're going to break down what happened at Martinsville, and we're going to have to get to it first, though. Michael's punishment for losing the fantasy this week.
I seem to be getting all the punishments. You know that?
Yeah, let me tell you, I swung for the fences this week, okay? I picked Martin Truex Jr., winning it all, and it paid off. I made a huge gap on points. So now I am the leader overall by 1 point over Steven and the other guy that Steven. I know it's Steven and Adams,
Zach.
I think. Zach. Yeah.
Zach,
Daniel Hauser's right there, too.
Daniel Hauser's right there. So it's going to come down to the end. Yeah, I'll probably get some heat burning my guys up early, but guess what? I still got Kevin Harvick in my back pocket. I'm still holding on to him. I think Kurt Busch is going to come on. I think you're going to have Brad Keselowski come on late. I've already used him quite a bit. Chase Elliott's probably going to come on late. It's going to be wide open. What do y'all think about the fantasy side? We'll talk a little bit about the race side. What do you think about the fantasy side? Have you used your guys too much?
I have it. I had a plan and I stuck to it. I used 2 races to just use junk, more or less, that you wouldn't normally pick. And now that I've got all my top dogs still in the cookie jar, I can still reach in there and start grabbing them. But I'm gonna use them again.
Well, we're 8 races in.
I know.
So, the problem I think that a lot of guys are going to start to have, they're going to wait too late to start using them guys, and that overall points is going to get away from them.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to if you're 150 points behind, it's going to be hard to make up 150 points overall. So I hope a lot of guys take that in consideration. You got to put a heavy hitter in there every once in a while.
I'm just sitting on the bank catfishing, man. I'm being patient.
Catfishing, I like it.
I've been using a fairly balanced approach for what I've been doing. I mean, I kind of went for it at Bristol, got burnt bad, but I've been using a pretty balanced approach. But guys, when it comes to this punishment and stuff like that, this is on our winners' picks, and let's just say we picked 1, 2, and 3.
Right. Yep. 1, 2, and 3. You know, it of course, Michael's got the first pick this week. You know, I had to take Truex because Truex is so good there, right? You took Hamlin because Michael took Hamlin. Hamlin's really good there too. Elliott, Matt, you took Elliott. I think you took Elliott because he was last time the winner, right?
Well, not only that, but he smoked them.
Yeah,
like he smoked them in the fall.
We're still into the wheel well. What it was in the wheel well that is hurting all these? I mean, because you got to see Chase Elliott. Yeah, he was there, but he was quiet, right? That was probably the quietest second place finish that you probably will see.
Downforce, baby. That's what it was.
Yeah.
The wheel well was the downforce. I mean, that Rodney Childers said it in that interview, and I know I mentioned it before. They lost 70 counts of downforce with that wheel well template.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm not an engineer. I have no idea what counts of downforce means or anything like that. But 70 to me sounded like a lot.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've definitely, whatever they did, they've lost downforce, and that for sure has hurt Stewart-Haas quite badly.
Right. Well, we got our first guest of the night waiting in the green. We're going to bring him in, and then we're going to talk to him. Last year's Pro Late Model champion at Nashville. We're going to see if he can go back to back. What's going on, Dylan? How's it going, man? Yeah, I think he's froze on us a little bit. We'll try to bring him in once he gets unfroze. He must be at a racetrack. But Michael, we'll let you go on pick, man. What do you think? Who you think's going to take the top spot out of all three of us this week?
Man, it's Richmond. But I think this driver's due to win a race. Who do I burn? I mean, there's like three guys I have in mind, but I want to use them somewhere else. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say Kyle Busch.
Pretty good choice.
That's a good choice. Well, I'm going to go with a guy who hasn't won yet this year, but
Don't you do it.
I think, he's got one coming. Penske boy. I think it's Brad Kay's turn to go back to victory lane on Saturday or Sunday.
All right, I'm glad you didn't pick my guy. All right, I'm going Denny Hamlin. You got to go with the Virginia guy. He's really, really good there. As bad as a lot of people does not like him, but guess what? I'm going with him. So, I think he's really going to prevail there. He really shows strong speed at the short track stuff. So, we could end up 1, 2, 3 again. Never know.
I'm trying to finish third. Because I want my pick going into Talladega.
Okay. All right. We're going to bring Dylan back in. Look like he's got his issues fixed. What's going on, Dylan?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. You doing all right tonight?
Yeah, doing good.
Man, we're going to jump into it, man. You won the 2020 Nashville Late Model Championship. I think a lot of late models say that's probably one of the hardest championships to win because there's a lot of few races. Tell us how you did it.
Yeah, it was tough. It came down to that last race, and going into the last one, we were 4 points behind, and we ran a good race, finished in the top three, and came out on top.
So I don't know how many races but y'all actually got in because of the pandemic. I know you and Cole was running neck and neck. Uh, man, I tell you, if I think if you wreck out of one of the races, it pretty much puts an end to the championship, don't you say?
Yeah, for sure. We only race 7 or 8 times a year there, so if you miss one or have a bad race, you're pretty much out.
Yeah. What's it going to take to go back to back?
Um, just be consistent like we were last year. We finished like top five like every race, so that's really what won us the championship. We got one win. Hopefully, we can win some more next year.
You gonna run the legend car any?
Yeah, we plan on running it every race also.
So I was playing a little bit earlier. Lot of out of towners are in town this week. Have you got to go up and see some races at Howler Rim?
No, not yet. I know they run tomorrow again, but we'll be at Nashville at 1 o'clock. So we'll practice the late model tomorrow and then race the Legend Friday night.
So you're gonna jump in and play with the out of towners Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, for sure at Nashville.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I saw Hunter Wright. He picked up a win. I don't know if he got both wins. I think they run 2 races a day, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he won the second one. I saw he won the first one.
Yeah. So you gonna try to run for points in the legend car as well?
Yeah, hopefully. It'll be really cool to win the quarter mile championship and the 5/8. So that's really my main goal.
Yeah, I know. There's a pretty prestigious race that they're hosting at Nashville with the Master of Pros. Man, tell everybody how prestigious it would to win that race.
Yeah, it'd be big time. All the really good pro late model guys come for that one. And last year we were running good. We actually led a few laps and then had a track bar break, so we didn't end up getting to finish that one.
Yeah, got Master of Pros coming on. Then, are you planning to run anything other than Nashville pro late model side?
Yeah, we're gonna run Pensacola. They run 4 races a year, and then the Snowflake at the end of the year.
So you plan to run the Blizzard Series?
It's not the Blizzard. It's called the Allen Turner.
Allen Turner, that's right.
100. Yeah,
Blizzard's the super late model side.
super guys. Yeah.
Now with that series there, does that if you win that, does it guarantee you a spot in the Snowflake?
Yeah, it does.
So is it just the champion of that, or is multiple guys get
I
automatic
think it's
starts?
the top three.
Top three.
Yeah, I
So
believe.
that's why we see a lot of guys go down there and try to run that 4 race deal just to lock into the Snowflake.
Yeah, exactly. And it gets you like during the week you'll be up in line first for tech and picking tires and things like that. So.
Oh, well, I see. I learned something new right there. Right there, tire selection is real key down there.
Yeah, you get a bunch of advantages.
Have you run the Did you get to run Snowflake last year?
Yeah, we did.
How'd you do in that?
Qualified second and ran top five the whole race. Ended up finishing sixth.
That's pretty awesome there.
Yeah, I love that race.
Yeah, I've not got to make it down. I've got a cousin. He helps with Cody Coughlin, and he was with Anthony Campy last year, and they run that race every year. He's been trying to get me to come down. So back to Nashville. How tricky is that place to try to pass there if you get a bad draw or something like that?
Yeah, Nashville's tough. It's hard to pass. That's why qualifying is so important. You got to start up front to really finish up front.
Yeah. So we're hoping you go back to back this year. Have you got to see your name in the books yet as a flyer anywhere that says Pro Late Model Champion 2020?
No, not yet, but I know it'd be really cool. I know there's a lot of really big names in there that I added my name to. So.
Yeah. Well, man, go ahead and shoot your sponsors out before we let you go. Give it a little exposure.
Yeah, U.S. Tanks for sure. Hunter Industrial, the new sponsor this year, and the Schaffers. My Bryson Schaffer. He's driving another car, and that we we field it out of our shop. So, and they help us out a lot. So all three of them.
Well, man, I appreciate it, man. Good luck to you this week. Be sure to beat up on all the Isle Towners for the legend stuff. We don't want somebody to come in and take that little pride in that. But man,
That's
good luck
right.
to you this weekend, and hope to see you soon at the track.
Cool. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Good luck,
Thanks
man.
for coming on.
That was the 2020 Pro Late Model Championship. I want to tell you something. To winning that championship, put your name in the books, especially with all the hype around Nashville. It's got to be something special, because when you show up at a racetrack and you see, guys saying, well, he won the championship at Nashville last year. I mean, I know that, Michael, you're in Arkansas, Matt, you're in Canada, but I mean, everywhere you go, late model side on southeast side, it's who runs Nashville. That's the first thing out of the mouth is this guy's from Nashville. They're gonna be a time to win. Same thing with the modified guys. I mean, with Michael. I mean, y'all not the hub of IMCA, but I guarantee you, one of your guys go to Boone, that's the first thing that come out of their mouth is they run Race for Hope. Y'all have a race just like All American 400s to race for Hope. It takes a special kind of week to win that race.
Yeah, I think the main thing for us is the topless. If you run late models, it's the topless.
Yeah.
If you run mods, it's the Race for Hope. And if you run street stocks, it's the Show and Phil Header 10,000 to win race at the end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. I really look forward for racing to start up. I know Nashville starts this weekend. Like I said, they got legends. I'm trying to get down there Friday. I don't think work is going to let me do it. But I'd like to get down there Friday and watch some legend cars, because around that quarter mile, boy, they put on a show down there with 10, 15 cars just in each division. We're going to jump into it. Martin Truex wins at Martinsville, only leading 20 laps. He only led 20 laps. Matt, did you think Martin Truex probably was going to end up with that race with 100 to go?
You know what? What I knew with 100 to go was we were going to have some different players towards the front. And the reason I say that is because the sun was going down, track was cooling off, lights were coming up, and the guys that had the car set up the best out of the shop for that night race that was supposed to be Saturday night, not Sunday, you knew for sure if the guys had her set up for that night race, those were the guys that are going to come to live in that last 100 laps. And that's what happened, because you look at Martin Truex, he hung around the top 10 most of the day, but then all of a sudden, sun went down, temperatures went down, and that car just breathed to life. And it was the same thing for Chase Elliott. Sun went down, all of a sudden, next thing you know, here comes Chase. So, was I expecting it to be Truex? I was like, it's probably either going to be Truex or Elliott. That's kind of what I was thinking. Hamlin's car all day went like a banshee on the real short run. He could outrun anybody on the short run, but it seemed like after 30, 35 laps, that car fell off pretty bad. And I knew basically it was going to be a race between Truex and Elliott to see who got her, and Truex just got there faster.
I think Blaney had the best car on long runs. He just shot himself in the foot on that last pit stop.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, well, the pit crew, taking equipment out of the box, right? You can't have those mistakes at pit road on the last pit stop. That's just, you can't do that. Not in this series.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna bring in our next guest, Travis Ashley, late model driver out of Arkansas. How's it going, man?
Hey, how are you guys?
Doing good, buddy. How are you?
Man, I'm doing pretty dang good. Just living somebody's dream or my dream, one or the other.
Well, you getting ready for this weekend, huh?
Yes, sir.
Learning the comp cams?
Yeah, Friday night at Plummerville, we're going over there to for our season opener. They've already been racing, but it's
Right.
kind of our first time this year to get out on the racetrack. And I like Plummerville. We've spent quite a bit of time over there and raced over there quite a bit. And then if everything goes well Friday night, we're going to go to West Memphis to the ditch. And I've never ever raced over there. I've always wanted to race over there. I got lots of friends that race over there. You either hear really big horror stories about it or you hear great stories about it. There's like no in between. Yeah, I went to West Memphis, the ditch, and it was all right. It's either wow, that was exciting, we tore up a lot of stuff, or I'm looking forward to it. I know Comp hadn't been there in a really, really long time, and so I think it's going to be really good for the fans and everybody. And I'm not really a Comp regular. I just kind of fall into place every so often when I get the opportunity to. We stay so busy at Shaw's working, and then trying to get both cars ready. I really don't get to race as much as I'd like to, but we try very hard. I'm super blessed. I'm more blessed than I probably deserve. So it's great to get to join in with those guys. I really believe that this day and age that Comp itself is as hard or harder than any series out there. Them guys, they can travel anywhere in the world and win anytime they go anywhere. There's nothing easy about it anymore. So just getting to be with those guys is a privilege.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most
man.
definitely.
I was about to ask you that. The Comp series. I mean, that series. It's an upcoming series. Them guys can go run Lucas and Water Outlaws and run up front. Do you think that the Comp series will eventually be in that conversation as the top 3 series and be a third top series in late model?
To be honest with you, yes, I truly feel that way, and that's not me trying to get a better starting spot this weekend, Jack. I promise I'm not trying to get a better starting spot. But I really believe that wholeheartedly. You just look at the people that race that thing and the crowd that's in there. You got Big Billy, who races that all the time. You got Little Billy, who's in that. You take BJ Robinson, and you just look at, I mean, he builds cars for Stuckey. He's got EPJ. You take Kyle Beard, that he goes to the West Coast and he comes back and he's super fast. I mean, all those guys, there's no rhyme or reason of why they're good, but they are really, really good. And you look at Logan Martin, and it's just crazy at the talent that's in that level. It is unreal. And I tell you why I think it's going to be probably one of the top 3 series is not only just the talent level, it's the respect level that just about everybody in that has got. They're pretty much second to none. And I think that goes further up the chain than people that aren't respectful. I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense, but that's how I feel.
Sense. Well, man, what's your favorite racetrack you like to go run when you get a chance to?
Well, to be honest with you, hands down, Crowley's Ridge. I live in Batesville, love Batesville. Batesville definitely is one of my favorite places in the world. We got the Bad Boy 98. Then we've definitely got the Topless. And if you're a late model fan, you absolutely, the Topless is it. Like you just want to run that race. And it's hard just to pull on the racetrack with those guys, much less anymore make the show with those guys. But I truly love Crowley's Ridge Raceway. I'm actually from San Angelo, Texas, and grew up on a tiny, tiny racetrack. It was super small. Like our street stocks were geared 777. That's how small this place was.
Wow.
So
Wow.
going to Crowley's Ridge is a whole lot like going back to Texas, except for on steroids. If you've never been there, it is the craziest thing. You pull on the racetrack. There's 3,000 people in the grandstands, little kids waving flags, flashes going off everywhere. And it's the coolest feeling in the world, to be real honest with you. You cannot think that, man, I'm in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and there is so many people standing here waving little flags, and that's what it's about. It's the fans to begin with. So
that's right. And
the racing surface itself is normally as good as you're possibly going to get one. And I like it. If we want to test something, we run over there and we test something. Or I just I really think that you can learn more there than you can a lot of other places. Actually, Josh Richards said that about Plummerville too. It was really, really good test track. So, but I just feel like that we run decently okay over there. We've won quite a few races over there, and I just felt like I've learned a lot. And I really like the atmosphere and the people. So,
Yeah, Michael sent me a video of Coolidge Ridge, and I told him I like the little track. I'm trying to make it to the Bad Boy 98 or Topless 100. I'm trying to make it over there. If I can get over there, I want me and Michael to do a live show down there, and stuff. But man, you got any sponsors you want to thank before we let you go here?
absolutely, 100% couldn't do it. First and foremost, he's not a sponsor, but I couldn't do it without God. There's no way, form, or fashion that I would even be here today without him through lots of trials and tribulations. So I wanted to say that first and foremost.
That's right.
And then I could not race without Roger Mueller. I've been with him for, it seems like forever. We've kind of grown up together. So I raced for him and Roger Mueller Motorsports, and I wanted to thank him. You know, he's been there for me for a whole lot of stuff. Sometimes I feel like we're going to fight back and forth, but that's all right. But I would like to thank SBC Slayton Barbecue Company has come on board this year, and I certainly want to appreciate them. Las Playitas Mexican food here in Batesville, it's really, really good. I'm not just saying that for free food. I need to pump that out there, but it's really, really good. And New Vision Graphics, I've been with them for about 10 years, and I tear up a lot of stuff, man, and they always take care of me. So I certainly appreciate
tractor
that.
tires.
I hate them things. I wish they moved. If I could just get a remote control to get them out of my dang way, I'd love that part. But TD Home Center and Willie's Carbs. Willie is always taking care of me. I pick up the phone, he answers every time, and I certainly appreciate that. And Jay Bray Fast Freight, Joy Bray, he's been with me since I started racing, and 3-link modified days. He's been with me forever, so I wanted to take the time to tell him thank you. Kyle Cherry with Cherry Farms has been there. Bobby Duggar with Duggar's Exxon's always been there. I'm sure there's a lot of them I'm forgetting, and I'm sorry about that, but I certainly appreciate everything they've ever done for me. So, and I know one I forgot, and this is a very, very important one. KR Fuels and KR Promotions. We grew up together in West Texas. It's kind of a wild, funny story. We grew up together in West Texas, and we parted ways. He went to Dallas, and I came to Batesville. And years later, we actually met back up, and it was cool. He was in the racing industry, and I was in the racing industry, so it just kind of hit off. And man, that guy does so much for motorsports and does so many things for so many people, and I don't think he gets enough recognition. So I wanted to thank him for dang sure, and John Young that does my shocks. He's really, really good. So I appreciate all them guys.
Well, Travis, before you go, did the arm wrestling match between you and Jeff Taylor ever happen?
No, and that was supposed to happen 2 years ago. I don't know why he keeps backing out of that deal, but I asked him again today. It's funny you said that. He kind of, and I love Jeff to death, so I'll pick on him a little bit. He got a little mouthy. He couldn't get a bolt loose, and I'm just going to be real honest with you. So I got it loose, and he said, "Well, I'm not very wrestling because I've been training and I'm not there enough." So he's got that same excuse for 2 years.
Well, we love it. Oh, well, I'm gonna tell you something. If y'all ever do it, it needs to be broadcasted. We need to see it. If we got to pay a ticket, I want to see it.
You got it, man. I promise you that will happen.
Man, we appreciate you coming on. Good luck to you this weekend. Hope to have you on soon. You got any more plans after this weekend, or is it kind of week-to-week basis?
No, actually we do. We have this car here. That's our older car. It's kind of our go-to just about everywhere that we go, and I love that thing. I've had it forever, and it runs really good. And then that car over there at 10 Pieces is our new car that we built last year, and we've got 5 races on that thing, and it just seems bad luck. So our main goal is to get through this weekend and get that car 100% ready for the Bad Boy 98. That's how we built that car. It's a little bit different as far as the chassis stuff goes, and a little bit of the dimensions are different on it. I'm not going to say it's illegal because I don't need to say that, but it's a little bit lower deck. The aero stuff is so much more important these days, so it's a little bit more aero, like more of the Lucas people. So we're gonna test with that car next weekend, maybe Friday and Saturday somewhere, and then get 100% full bore for the Bad Boy 98 coming up. I have Robert with Klein Racing Engines is getting my new one finished up, and we're going to try to slam that thing in there and get busy. So,
well, man, good luck to you. I know Michael will keep us in touch of how you do and stuff, man. But
Yeah, I may be at the Exxon thumbing a ride to West Memphis, Trav, when you come by.
come on, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, I had some good times when I traveled with you before, man. It's always been fun.
Yes, sir, absolutely. You're a good help. So,
appreciate it, man. Good luck to you this weekend.
thank y'all. Y'all have a great day.
Give them hell, buddy.
You too.
That's pretty cool. He's a character right there. I like that.
Travis is awesome, man. You got to meet the guy in person. He's just a down to earth guy, and is always nice. And there's never a dull moment. That's for sure.
Yeah, he he sounds like a really good guy. I'm wishing him well. Hey, is Comp gonna be on Flow this weekend?
I don't know if they are or not. I'll look.
I'm hoping they are, because I mean I'd like to watch. I honestly think, and I was serious when I asked him that about the Comp series being a top 3 series, because I really think that in a couple years, I think you're going to have the Comp series probably be that third go-to series.
Last year, Jack Sullivan, I heard him on another podcast say that the Comp Cam series was number 3 in attendance for average car count per week.
You can't beat that.
Nope.
Here's what I think we're going to see, is I think you got Lucas Oil and you got World Outlaws. They're getting too big for themselves, right? They're taking the short track feel out of dirt late model racing. And I think comp series is still got that short track feel to it. When you show up to a Lucas Oil, I've went to Lucas Oil 4 or 5 times, and it's a great experience. But man, they just so picky on different stuff that they really don't need to be picky on. And I hope that we need more. I wish they'd all get on the same rules package. Does Comp Cam follow? Does they have anything different than them other two? Well, I mean, I know you got to have something different than World Outlaw because it's droop rule.
Yeah, well, the Lucas Oil, I think, it's also got the droop rule this year, too.
No, Lucas Oil don't.
Do they not?
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I really don't know. That's something I've never really, I guess you could say, pay attention to.
Well, I guess that means we'll have to put Travis back on the show again and ask him.
But I would say they're probably pretty close to Lucas because they both sanction with each other from time to time.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
it might be the difference might be in a tire.
Yeah, that could be.
Tire. So they don't run Hoosiers.
Yeah, they run Hoosiers, but different.
Talking about a different compound.
Yeah,
different compound. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think that series is growing good and stuff. We'll jump back into breaking it down. This one here is kind of funny. I think it's really funny. James Davison got on the radio after Cody Ware's second or third caution and said, "Rick, get your effing son." That right there was hilarious. Now, and I wish I had an audio clip. I'd let people hear it that didn't hear it. It was so funny. But he said, get your effing son. And then I think the 51 turned to 15. I think so. And then, are we, what do you think about these back marker teams? Just kind of, they're going at each other.
Well, I think it's gotten really bad when the back marker teammates are wrecking each other.
Yeah.
What is going on in these organizations that people are not seeing, not hearing?
I don't know. You got Jennifer Jo Cobb going to drive the 15 car. I'd like to try to get Rick Ware on. Ask him, was that a retaliation to what James Davison said, or what? But yeah, it was funny.
I don't have nothing against Jennifer Jo Cobb. I think she might be a decent driver and good equipment. But Man, Talladega in a cup car, no experience in a cup car. Wow,
Well,
what could
I
happen?
see your point. I see your point on that. But she has a lot of experience with other series at big tracks. Right? Now, what the package of Cup car and the package of Xfinity and a package of truck is totally different because the Cup cars have a bubble, right? They draft with a bubble in front of them. The Xfinity cars don't have that bubble. They're locked up. They get locked up real easy. The truck series is locked up. You know, you got to basically feather the throttle with it. But I agree with you, Michael. I think I wouldn't put her at Talladega right off the bat. But hey, get you started. Now, do you think James Davison wants to make it in Cup, right? Did he take the approach wrong to try to sign with a backmarker team to try to
I
get
think
somewhere?
anybody that takes the approach of signing with any of these back markers is doing it wrong. The only well, I take that back. Yeah, it might be smart, but if you can at least get some decent finishes, do like John Hunter. Be smart, go back down, get in a good ride, and then wait your turn to get into one of these bigger rides. I think in the end, it's going to pay off for John Hunter. But these other guys, I don't know. I think they've they've waited too long,
Yeah,
and the results ain't showing.
yeah.
Well, I mean, agree or disagree, and this is my own opinion on this whole deal, guys, is that anybody that's come in with money and trying to run Cup with the back marker teams, have you ever seen any one of them get to the top level of Cup winning races?
No.
Almost every single one that's done that's tried to come into Cup too early with too much money or anything like that, never make it to the top of the series.
Only one I see that is making strides is Corey LaJoy. Corey LaJoy come in and he had to run for Archie St. Clair and he got good finishes with that 32 car, you know, at Talladega, Daytona, and stuff like that. And if Corey LaJoy did not get his nose took off by Tyler Reddick, I really think that Corey LaJoy probably would have finished top 10. He's running top 10, but he got his nose took off in a pit stop.
But let's be honest here. Spire Motorsports, right? Because that's the 7 and the 77 are Spire this year.
Yeah.
They have improved.
Yeah.
They are running better than they did last
I'll
year.
agree.
Those cars are running better than they did last year. There's improvement there, and you can see it. I will not be surprised by the end of this season that those cars are consistently finishing maybe one lap down, two at most, and they're going to be probably top 25, top 20 cars.
Yeah, I think so. And he even said that. About in the second stage, you had Ryan Blaney take an air hose out. And Freddie Kraft was kind of showing it a little bit, trying to explain it a little bit. Basically, it was lined up, and all the spotters Ryan Blaney pulled the air hose out, and I reckon spotters was going up to the official, hey, he's got an air hose. They didn't call the penalty out until they was choosing. He was about 100 foot before the choose, and he was going through the choose when he got penalized. Should NASCAR waive the restart off and make them choose again if there's a penalty?
Yeah, but I was thinking that was towards the end of the race when that happened.
It was towards the end of
it was the last pit stop.
It was stage 3. Yeah.
Last pit stop in the race. You know what? Where was Blaine? He was top 5, I think, at that point, wasn't he?
Yeah. And they was talking about it on Dorval McClear. They said that there's some drivers that got screwed on the outside, but they'd have picked the inside if Blaney wasn't there.
But you know what? It is what it is, and it's like, you know what? What if NASCAR doesn't call a penalty at all? right?
Oh,
Now you're crying blood. Now it's bloody murder, right?
It's bloody murder on that one.
It's bloody murder because now he's up front and there was a penalty. I mean, you're not going to win anything like that. And the thing is that, you know what? To have to go throw the caution for one more lap, tell the guys that they all have to redo the shoes and everything like that. You know what? I don't think it would have made that big of a difference, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because the guys that were starting behind Blaney that would have been whining about the shoes, they weren't factors anyway in how the outcome of the finish was. So, in my opinion, you know what? At least they called it, because if they wouldn't have called it, we'd be having a totally different discussion about this right now.
I agree. Matt, you're going to like this one. Daniel Suarez throws a water bottle at your boy, William Byron.
Well, if the dipshit wouldn't have been in the way, he wouldn't have had to throw the water bottle at him.
Should have used that water bottle to put the car out.
Yeah, that's what iRacing said, and he took a little exception to that. I mean, you know what? I get what they were trying to do. They were on quite a bit older tires than the rest of the field. They decided to take track position, but the problem is not enough guys behind them had that old of tires, and he started dropping like a rock. And the problem is that at Martinsville, if you're an anchor, somebody's going to push you out of the way. Just, because it's like, as drivers, you don't have time to wait. And you know what William Byron did? Let's be honest, guys. Any other of the Cup drivers would have done the same thing if he was holding them up, because Byron did not push him out of the way. He ran behind him for 2 laps before he finally said enough's enough and then knocked them out of the way, because Byron was losing positions just as fast because he couldn't get to the bottom because Suarez was going too slow on the top. Yeah. So, you know what? That's Martinsville racing. That's just the way it is. I
was kind of disappointed with what NASCAR did. I mean, they went out there and run 40 laps on Saturday. Do you agree? Do you agree that if it's a night race, NASCAR needs to have it scheduled for the next night? If it's a night race, it needs to be a night race.
No.
I'm different. I think if it's going to be night, let's race it at night.
I mean, I think if you're starting it at 6 p.m. and it rains out that day, guess what? You need to come back that following start time and start it again, unless weather is going to play an issue on that one. I mean,
yeah,
people pay for a night race, right? That's what they paid for. They paid for a night race. They give them a night race.
They do, but here would be my argument, and the thing is that because of the fact that any race that I go to, boys, I got to fly to just about. It's just about a guarantee. I have to fly in. And for me, if they go and it gets rained out Saturday night and I have to fly out first thing Monday morning and they're telling me, well, we're not starting the race till 8 o'clock on Sunday night and I have a 6 a.m. flight to catch, I'm not going to be very happy because that could affect my travel plans. And that's, the networks also have a lot of say into it because they pay a lot of money to broadcast the races. So, it's kind of one of them things that, and you know what? I agree. I mean, I wanted to see a Martinsville night race. I did. I wanted to see them race at night.
Yeah.
But you know what? At least we got to see them race. Yeah, it was a day race or anything like that. But what I was disappointed about was that they even bothered to start the race on Saturday night. Because it was like, if I go to the stands and everything like that, and I'm waiting out and it's a rain delay and everything like that, and I get to watch 40 laps and then and then it starts pouring rain and, oh, sorry, you got to come back tomorrow. Now, instead of losing one day, hell, I lost 2.
Well, here's the thing that I kind of disagree with you on that one. Let me tell you why. It's because how do you know that rain behind it don't go away, right?
Oh, you don't.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, all right, they called a race 30 minutes down the road, right? Last Saturday. Hey, we're not racing. The weather not looking good. Guess what? The rain pushed out at 11 a.m. and the races, the gates didn't open till 1 o'clock, right? So, you've got to. I understand, but you still have that time slot, right? You still have that time slot that you have to feel. So if you
Yes.
get racing in, you get 40 laps of racing in. But I'm with you. It does hurt the fans that's there. When I was at Daytona, I spent quite a bit of time in weather delays. Quite a bit of time in weather delays down there. The 2 years that I've been down there for the 500, I've been in weather delays. Had to fly back, and let me tell you something. It hurt me. Had to fly back on Sunday afternoon because I had to beat that snowstorm that hit. I lost a lot of money on that race too. But I wouldn't change it for nothing. You know, we got to see. I got home. I got to see a night Daytona 500. Let me tell you something, and I think that's a race that they need to change it. And that race right there needs to be under the lights.
I'm a traditionalist.
Nope.
Put that
Nope.
sucker in the daytime. Let's see.
You've got the fall race at night. That's good. Daytona needs to stay during the day.
No.
I couldn't take the anticipation till nighttime. I mean, it's enough already when you get up and it's Daytona 500 day. You're ready to go, and if you got to wait another 6 hours, 7 hours,
Willie,
oh.
my problem with it is that unfortunately when Daytona is dark and the track is cool, the track's got too much grip in it. I like it when it's a little bit hotter out, the cars can slide around. You know what? Maybe they can't keep it to the floorboards because now they got to have some handling in there to get around that track.
I wish they would move the truck race to daytime.
You're
on
crazy.
a Saturday afternoon.
You're crazy.
No.
The duels under lights. I'm telling you, Daytona under lights is bad. I mean, yeah, it might.
And I don't disagree with having the duels at night because it's a weekday race.
Yeah,
like that to me, that was a good change.
I mean, do we? Oh, NASCAR needs to have more night races. Damn it!
I agree.
Where does racing start at? Where did everybody get their start at? They get their start at Saturday night racing, right?
Yep.
We had a bunch of night races 2 years ago. We had tons of night races. I think we maybe have 3 this year. Maybe. I think we have.
At Nashville?
No. At NASCAR, period.
There's
we don't
only
have
3
no night
year?
races. Huh?
There's only 3 this year?
I'm pretty sure there's only 3.
Wow.
You got you've got Richmond night, you got Bristol night, and I'm thinking you have the Coke
Charlotte,
600.
Texas, Charlotte, Texas lost today, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
So Charlotte,
Phoenix. No, Phoenix is in daytime.
But Richmond is a day race this weekend. It's Sunday afternoon.
Spring race is always a day race.
Well, it had been night for years. It used to be Richmond always was run under the lights both nights.
Wow, that may have changed my pick right there, but we'll go Kyle Busch.
No,
yeah. You locked in there, boy.
You locked in. It's in pencil and paper, son.
Yeah, I've already got it put in there. Don't worry.
The problem I have with it, boys, is it's just I do not want to lose fans at the local tracks if we're running Saturday night cup races to compete with the short tracks.
Yeah.
And so I agree. I'd like to see a little bit more night racing, but if it's going to be night racing, it's going to either have to be Sunday night or another like they did last year where they ran some night races in midweek.
I don't know why they don't do that. I really don't know why they don't have a midweek race. All right, here's my thing. They need to try it one time with fans, right? Let's do it for Virginia Swing, right? Let's do a Wednesday night at Martinsville, Saturday night at Richmond. Boom. Places can hit you can hit. Because I'm going to tell you something. Me personally, I would not travel to 8 hours away for a race that's only going to last 2 hours, 2.5 hours, right? But if I know I'm going to hit this racetrack and I'm going to hit that racetrack in a week's time, they try to do that with speed weeks. They try to hit, okay, come to speed weeks, stay a week, go to the road course, stay another week, go down to Homestead. You can 3 weeks of racing, get your money's worth. But it didn't work out the way they planned because of That's too much. That's too long a period. But I really think they need to look into midweek racing and stuff, especially for the truck series. I think truck series on a Wednesday night. You're talking about flipping your TV on. You're gonna have as much views as a Cup series on Sunday. I think. I mean, I think that's my honest opinion on that. ARCA, same thing. I mean, what are we doing during the week? Sitting at home watching a TV show or watching a ball game, right?
Well, I think the biggest problem with the ARCA series right now, let's be honest, boys, that series is hurting.
That
It's
series,
losing.
that series is about dead.
It's getting close to dead, and I think the problem is that you know what, we've got these weekends and stuff where, those guys could be running at the same track as the Cup Series or the Truck Series or the Xfinity Series, and they got to start taking those cars to some of those tracks. Now, I'm not talking about taking them to Charlotte or the big Pocono or anything like that, because I think they already
No,
go to
I think that's
Pocono.
their problem. That's their problem now. They take them to the big tracks, and it takes so much horsepower for these teams to.
But like here's a good example though, right? They could have run Saturday afternoon at Martinsville.
I agree with you on that.
Right?
Another thing I think hurting them is the exposure. After Daytona, you
They're
don't hear
gone.
nothing from unless you got MAV TV.
They're on Track Pass too. That little streaming service that NBC
See,
offers.
And that's the thing is, as far as I'm concerned, if you can run them with the big boys, then the TV network and broadcast and everything is already in place, ready to go.
Well,
So why can't we run them?
Here's another thing too. They ran them right before the Xfinity race at Daytona, and let me tell you something. The stands was not full. I know with the pandemic that you saw limited fans, but I'm gonna tell you something. The stands was not full. But who wants to go see 20 cars run at Daytona, right?
I wouldn't.
I mean, you had 3 or 4 cars that was
No.
in contention.
But if you ran a Saturday afternoon ARCA race at Martinsville this weekend, and you run it, and you make sure you have about 2 hours before the start time of the Xfinity Series to get everything switched around and everything like that, all those and with Martinsville, you probably don't even have to increase the ticket prices.
No.
Basically, you get the ARCA race for free. Guess what? All those people that come to watch the race for the Xfinity Series on Saturday are going to be in the stands to watch that ARCA race.
Yeah.
You get a 2 for 1, right?
What do you mean? You think ARCA should go to a spec car? Everybody's got the same car? Because right now you got Vince Arena, you got Joe Gibbs racing with Ty Gibbs. They're dominating. There's nobody going to touch them. Should NASCAR all right, say it like this? Should NASCAR have a spec series car? Should they have where everybody has the same car? It's all the driver.
Well, I mean, we're going that way with the Cup Series.
No, I mean, yeah, you are, but you're still gonna have the Hendrick. You're still gonna have the Gibbs. You're still gonna have the Penske. Them three right there are still going to be up front. The back markers are still going to be the back markers.
But that's the way the Cup's going with the car, though, right? We can all agree that chassis is coming from one manufacturer for every team in Cup next year.
There's still going to be engineering involved.
There is, but there's a lot less things to play around with. I mean, it's a composite body. We can't do anything to modify the composite body. You can maybe place it a little bit different on the chassis with your, mounting points. Maybe you can put it a 1/4 inch here, 1/4 inch there, something like that. But you can't do nothing with modifying the body. You can't do nothing with modifying the chassis. If they wanted to make ARCA an affordable series to get into, spec the chassis, spec the car. You can still have a Chev, a Ford, a Toyota, whatever you want. But they need to do it like the truck series where they have a spec engine. And everybody runs the same engine.
Right now they have you can run an open motor, or you can run an Elmore motor. They're supposed to be similar.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that everybody runs an Elmore motor. Everybody has the same engine, and the thing is if it's the same engine coming from the same manufacturer, the cost savings for those teams on ARCA is going to be huge because it's one engine.
Yeah,
and the things could be built, and they don't run enough miles. Those things could be built so that they could probably run 5 races on one motor.
Yeah. All right, we'll jump on this with Kyle Busch and Chris Buescher. Intentional or non-intentional? You think that was intentional?
I think Buescher. I think Busher was pissed because Bush pushed him out of the way going into one. Kyle Busch went, gave him the bumper, slid him up into the outside groove, which ticked them off. And then I think, unfortunately for Busher, he ran out of talent coming off of 2. And, hey, boys, we've all done it. We've all run out of talent in that one spot, right? We get ticked off, you run out of talent. And unfortunately, the way it turned the 2 of them sideways, well, the whole field was coming behind them. Where do you go?
Right. I agree. I 100%
that's what it
agree.
looked like to me. It just looked like Busher ran out of talent on the top of 2, and yeah, it just.
Yeah. Well, you had who was that? You had Brad Keselowski about missed it, but Justin Haley's son, I don't know what he was thinking. He just.
What about Alfredo that coming there with no brakes?
Oh,
I mean, where was the brake pedal on that car?
Well, even Ryan Preece absolutely plowed into Bowman.
Yeah.
Like Bowman was slowing down, and he just bang.
Let me tell you something about Alfredo. He's got to have a deep pocket behind him, because let me tell you, he did not impress me one bit in the Xfinity Series when he ran with Richard Childress last year. He did not. Why? It's same as Ryan Preece. Ryan Preece bet on himself. He won a couple Xfinity races. That does not mean you go take a full-time Cup ride. Yes, you're trying to make it full-time in Cup. That's your ultimate goal. But why do you hurt yourself and take a full-time Cup ride? I'm telling you right now, Ryan Preece is on his way back to the modifieds. I don't think that I don't think he lasted long.
I don't know if I agree with you on that one. You know what? Martinsville was the first race that I've seen this year where he screwed up. Because otherwise, that car hasn't been running that bad.
What seat's going to be available for him to jump to another seat? That's going to be your question. That's going to be the question, right?
There isn't. That's the problem. We've had this discussion before. There is no seats.
There's no seats.
You could go to this. Who's good enough to replace him?
Exactly.
Who's good enough to replace him?
That's not in a top tier ride.
You got some pretty good Xfinity drivers waiting for seats. I'm telling you. You got but who wants the seat? JTG is not performing like they need to be, right? JTG is JTG. All right, you have your A tier, which is your Gibbs, your Hendrick, your Penske's. Then you have your second tier, which is probably going to be your Ganassi and your Childress. All right. Then you have your third tier, that's where JTG is. They're back there with Spire, Richard Petty Motorsports, and JTG. They're trying to outdo them. Nobody wants to come and run for them unless that's their only move that they have. But you've got to, if you take a chance to go run with them guys, guess what's going to happen? If I don't perform, that's it. I'm done. I'm going back to Xfinity Series with another backmarker team because somebody's going to fill my seat.
Yeah, but boys, we have to remember, I'm looking at the point standings right now. JTG is running not bad this year. Ricky Stenhouse is in 13th in points right now, and Ryan Preece is 20th.
How many points is he out of 16th?
Ryan Preece is about 34 out of 16th.
So he has to finish real good and get points to make it. He has to claw himself back.
Hey, of the three of us, who would have predicted right now that Ricky Stenhouse Jr. would be sitting in the playoffs in 13th place after this many races?
Not me.
It wouldn't be me.
Yeah.
So
they're running better. They have to be running better than they were last year because they never had a driver that was looking 8 races in to where he could make the chase on points.
I'm going to tell you something right now. JTG, if you look at restrictor plate program, they're probably top 3 team at restrictor plate program.
No,
because
they're running a Hendrick car.
Well, I mean, yeah. But that's another story for another day on that one. I mean, I think we need to get away with, hey, you run my car, you run this car, yada yada yada. But this weekend was a horrendous week for rain. Do we need to bring rain tires to oval racing?
No,
No.
I
Got
don't
one no.
want this turning into the SCCA or whatever it used to be called or whatever it is called, the sports car series. I don't want that. I know a lot of people are for it. I'm against it. I'm old school. Keep it simple, the way it is.
I'm open to it on the short tracks. And the only reason I'm saying open to it on the short tracks is because Larson said that the car did seem to drive okay at Martinsville with whatever tire Goodyear brought for them to test on at that race. Because the whole thing is that, the one nice thing about it is that Goodyear already said that if it's a downpour, they can't run on an oval.
No.
Period. Doesn't matter what rain tire they bring, they can't run it. If the track is damp, they can bring a tire that they could run on the damp on Martinsville, maybe Richmond, Loudon, who knows, whatever. But the thing is that I like about it is that it's the same thing as Bristol dirt. Now you bring the moisture into it. The horsepower is now out of the equation because now you're going to have that eggshell underneath your foot, and it's going to be an equalizer.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
And so I'm open to it, but short tracks only. I am not interested in seeing these guys putting rain tires on and running on Daytona. Sorry, no, pass.
I'm okay with the road courses, but getting it on ovals, it ain't there for me.
Yeah.
But I don't get why they couldn't run on oval because they had a monsoon hurricane that they ran the Busch Series in at Charlotte, and they were on the banking.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The water's going to run down.
It is. I mean, I think the problem is that the amount of heat that the oval tracks put into the tires, I think that's where your issue is going to be with a rain tire on the bigger bank tracks.
Yeah. All right. New segment, best and worst of the week. All right. You're going to give me your best, what the best in sports, racing, whatever, the best and the worst of the week. Michael, start it off.
My worst of the week was Sunday night, Atlanta Braves and the Phillies. At the end of the game, or it was the ninth inning, I believe the Phillies was tagged out, and they said he was safe. That's my worst.
Clearly
Clearly
out.
tagged. Yes.
Yeah, clearly out.
My best.
It's bad. It's bad when FanDuel said, "Okay, we're going to refund all bets that was placed on that game, win or lose. We're giving your money back. We're not paying nothing out."
I don't watch Major League Baseball little to any, and I just happened to be watching that game because I was bored, and I seen that and was wow. And my best of the week is Arkansas going down and beating Opus at home in a packed Ole Miss stadium, Swayze Field or whatever they call it down there, and beating them 18-14. In
y'all
what
sweep?
was a wild game. No, we got 2 out of 3.
That's okay. Matt, you want to go best to worst of the week? Start with your worst.
Well, we're going to go worst of the week. You know what? Probably has to be the James Davidson Cody Ware deal. That's not good. I don't like seeing teammates wrecking teammates. That's just like, that's not good. And I don't like the fact that it was called out. And I don't know what's going on because Davidson was scheduled to run that car at Talladega. And then the next thing you know,
time
what?
out, Matt.
What?
You ain't been on our race team long enough to get involved in that stuff yet.
No,
I'm sure it's coming. Okay, carry on.
We're pretty mastered at it. We'll get mad at each other and wreck them, and then we'll forgive later.
We've had teammates in other channels to stay away from one another.
Well, no, but I mean, you know what, though? iRacing is a little different, though, than we're talking real world. When you're at the professional level, top level Cup Series,
yeah,
best in the world, supposed to be the stock car drivers, and here you go, got 2 backmarker guys beating the hell out of one another and spinning them out, causing cautions. It's like that's not a good look for NASCAR. Now, best of the week, Josh Berry getting that win at Martinsville was a nice, awesome to see him finally basically get paid off for all that hard work that he has done. And, it was really cool to see all the people that were, behind him and everything. Him winning that race has got them 2 more weeks of sponsorship out of Tire Boss. I saw today Tire Pros came up. They gave him another 2 weeks of sponsorship. Sounds to me like, from what I'm reading on Twitter, Marcos Lemonis, there could be some Camping World races in there for that 8 car with Josh Berry now.
Well, here's
So,
let me time out on you before I get to mine. He still only has 14 races. He's only got 5 to 6 left. Okay,
you know what, though?
NASCAR fans are wanting waiver. He's missed 1 race. Give him a waiver.
No.
Okay.
Nope, no waiver.
He's not getting a waiver because it's not COVID related. And where's he going to run after? Because you got an ink deal with Sam Mayer. They're not going to. I don't think Junior's going to pass up on. He's not going to do that to Sam Mayer. Say, okay, we're going to run Josh rest of the time. He don't have a seat available.
No, and that's not what I'm saying, Willie. What I'm saying is that, you know what, they were looking at that 8 car with Barry was going to be running unsponsored in races for what he had left.
Yeah, they made a commitment to Josh to put him in 14 races without any sponsorship locked up at any point.
And that is what I'm saying is the best part of this deal, is that not only did he go out there, he won the race, he finally got his dues paid, but he also managed to secure some sponsorship based on how they run at Martinsville. And that is good to see a team finally a guy that's worked hard and now reaping the rewards and the benefits. And that's what I liked about it. It would be nice to see him be able to run a full season and everything. I totally disagree with a lot of the people saying give him a waiver for the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, you missed a race. You know the rules when you started the season. That's what it was.
You shouldn't have put Miguel Pluto in the car for a road course.
But they know the rules when they started the season. You know what you're getting into. But it was just a real feel-good story to see him get that win, because
I've run with Josh a lot on iRacing, a lot. I used to run with him.
But I haven't seen a guy get out of the car like he did when they did the interview. And I mean, that guy was just genuinely happy to be there and won that race. I mean, he had a smile. You couldn't knock that off of his face. I mean, he's probably still smiling this week. I mean, and it was happy. I was really happy to hear how Junior talked about it and how happy he was for him. And
Junior is a big advocate for him. I never got to see Josh race in person when he ran at Nashville. I reckon he ran a legend car down there. But I have run with him a lot on iRacing, and a little bit different on iRacing. He's a jokester on iRacing. Let's put it that way. He ain't scared to boot you around just for fun. But he's a good guy. He's a good guy. I mean, it's good to see a story behind that. On to mine. My worst of the week is these 2 little fellers right here. Okay, let's just go ahead and say it here. Okay. Why Joe Graff Jr. and I'm thinking the other one's Colby Howard is the other gentleman. No, Greg Galding. Nope. My bad.
Greg Galding. Yep.
And Joe Graff Jr. Okay. Guys, y'all are racing for 22nd and 23rd. Why are we fighting over 22nd and 23rd? If I was these two guys, car owners, I would pull them into a room, sit them down, and say, if y'all ever do that again, I promise you will never, ever get a cup ride again. That was embarrassing for them 2 car owners. My guys was fighting over 22nd and 23rd. Okay, I love the passion. I really do. I really love the passion. But, all right, I know fans like to see fights and all this, but come on, 22nd, 23rd, okay? We're a little bit exaggerating a little bit while we're fighting for 22nd, 23rd. And then Greg Galding come out and said, I'm going to wreck him at Talladega. Okay. One, you ain't wrecking nobody at Talladega. If you do, son, that's when NASCAR needs to go ahead and step in, right?
Yep.
So them right there, it needs to be a no. My best of the week has got to be Josh Berry, man. I mean, the story behind it is remarkable. Getting his start on iRacing and then running the late. He's not run a super late model, which I think that's where late model racing should be, a super pro late model asphalt side. But to being a late model for 10 years, finally getting his start, winning a late model or winning an Xfinity race, man, that was so good to see. I really wish that Bubba Pollard would get him a start in Xfinity series. I think he'd be another one that could win at a short track. I see Josh getting a full-time ride. I don't know if he really can. He really's got it. The practice, no practice is really hurting him on these mile and a halves. And that's why I said last week that they got to bring these practice sessions for the Cup and the Xfinity Series, because how are we going to develop drivers if we're not having practice for them to get more seat time? Because I think we're killing the sport. The sport's fine right now because we're in a pandemic, but I think later on when you see Kevin Harvick and you see Kyle Busch and all them leave, there's guys that's going to be coming in. Okay, we're not giving no practice, guys. We're just go out there and race. Just like Josh Berry said on Junior's podcast, like, I'm going in turn one at some of these places and I don't know where to lift. Right?
Yeah.
We've got to get back to it because, I mean, I'm telling you, it's about to get bad for the sport. I hope that, I hope we get back to it.
I agree. Now, I want to go back to your worst, though.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Hit me.
If Greg Walding wrecks Graf at Talladega, then he's wrecked him twice because he flat out wrecked them at Martinsville.
Well, Joe Graf, might be Joe Graf. Joe Graf that said it.
Well, could be, but Golding flat out wrecked. Like, he drove in there and flat out wrecked the guys. Like, he knew full well when he made that move, he was going to wreck them. Because just the way that deal happened, I watched the replay. I mean, it was
Kobe Howard
bad.
wrecked his teammate too. I forgot to tell you that.
Uh-huh.
Kobe Howard wrecked his teammate. I don't know who it was, but it might have been Ryan Vargas.
Yeah,
it was a JD. It was JD Motorsports. Let me say, the Xfinity Series was okay. A lot of chrome horns, and a lot of them was teammates wrecking teammates. That's how bad. But it's good for the sport.
But when I go back to Greg Golding, as an example, right?
Right.
Think of how many times that I mean, I don't know. I've watched a lot of races where he's been in Xfinity Cup or anything like that. That guy seems to be a moving pylon. He wrecks everything.
Yeah.
I mean, his crew chief might as well have, Harry Hogg's line in his back line. Well, you hit everything else. You might as well go hit the damn pace car while you're at it.
Yeah.
Like, the kid was good. He had a lot of talent and stuff when he was coming up. And then I think, he wasn't getting a ride. And then he was just like, well, I got to try extra hard. And then he just, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, personally, in my opinion, if I was Graf, damn rights I would have hit him, because it was just like, you flat out went in there and wrecked me, and you knew you were going to wreck me.
If you did not see the news and you're a dirt late model fan and you did not get excited, something is wrong.
Dirt period.
Eldora.
Dirt period, yeah.
Eldora, Tony Stewart, has come out and said, okay, we're going to do a big makeup race for the Dream and the King's Royal. We're going to make them up. But we're not only going to make them up, we're going to throw you some cash at you. $127,000 to win for Thursday, June 10th. For the 27th annual of the Dream, the 26th annual, which is supposed to be in the 2020 version, is going to play $126,000 to win on June 12th. And then sprint cars are going to be ran on the 17th and 15th, and they're going to be paying little small amount, little $175,000 to win both races. I mean, Tony, come on, man. I mean, if you don't have every driver that has a car in the garage trying to make this race, something's wrong. I mean, Now I don't know what the entry fee is of this. I mean, I don't know about that. It might be $1,000 to enter, but good God.
You are going to definitely get the best of the best at those races.
And it's going to be on Flow Racing. That's the big thing about it. It's going to be on Flow Racing. So if y'all don't have a Flow subscription, look, y'all need to go behind the shed and just whip yourself, because that right there is going to pay for itself. Them 4 races right there are going to pay for itself.
I know we don't get paid for advertisement for them.
No.
But it's worth every dollar.
It's worth every dollar. Just like tomorrow, they're at Tyler County Speedway in West Virginia. That race right there is going to be good. I mean, you got Davenport's going to show up, Tyler Erb. I'm sure a lot of big names is going to run, because guess what? It's on their way to Hagerstown.
Yeah, a lot of Lucas guys are going to be there.
Yeah, because Hagerstown runs Sunday night. And Davenport's going to go over to a little bitty track over in Islam, Kentucky, called Mountain Motorsports Park. He's going to run for 4,000 with the Southern All Stars series. I think it's Southern All Stars. It's SAS. That's 4,000 win. He's going to go over and cherry pick and stuff. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't think that cherry picking is going to be cherry picking, because he's going to have the Josh Rice and James Rice brothers. They're going to run him pretty hard. So, and then you're going to have probably Michael Chilton going to run over there. I wouldn't doubt Tanner English probably runs over there, because it ain't probably an hour and a half from Tyler County over to Islam. So there's going to be a lot of drivers go over and try to, hey, we're on our way to Hagerstown. Why not go over and try to win? So, man, this is huge.
While we're on the dirt topic, how about Devin Moran picking up the feature win Sunday afternoon at Bristol? That was awesome.
That was awesome. Our boy Trent Young was on here 2 weeks ago or last week. Finished, I think, 6th or 7th. Finished 2nd or 3rd in the prelim. Had a good showing down there.
I thought he finished 4th.
Did he finish 4th? I know he finished up front. I know he made both shows and stuff. Was 5,000 win Friday, 10,000 win Saturday. And stuff. I'm sure he'll probably be at the Jay Campton Memorial down in Morgantown, Kentucky, Saturday, unless they go run Renegades. I don't know. Renegades of Dirt's going to run Tyler County one day this week. I saw Tyler Nicely going to try to make that show. Excuse me. But Dirt, local short track racing is back, besides Matt in Canada, man. I don't know what we got to do with Prime Minister up there. If we got to take him behind a shed or.
Oh, hell, I want to do that for the last 5 years.
I did see a video where he said, tell me this, explain to me, why does it cost $2,000 for a damn COVID test up there?
Oh, so what the deal is that if you travel and it's deemed to be non-essential travel, so let's say I came to see you boys and then I flew back. The deal is that to enter Canada, you have to have a COVID test done before you enter the country. So I'd have to find someplace down there to go get a test done, get the results, then fly into the country. Once I fly into the country, then I have to take another COVID test and go stay at a government-approved hotel at my expense for 3 nights, which is about $2,000. $2,000 to $2,500 is what they're charging. And then
how much money is the government making off that?
I don't think they're making anything. I think it was just, they've got these, they're government approved hotels only.
Well, if they're government approved, I'm sure they're like, okay, we're sending you business. We're going to get you some money.
I don't know, but it ends up basically you have to sit there for 3 days until you get your test results back. Then once you get out of the hotel, you have to go home and isolate for an additional 10 days before you can re-enter.
Is there going to be any police outside the door to make sure you're quarantining?
Well, there's security in the hotels. Yeah, that's what you're talking about with getting a COVID test for $2,000. It's because if you fly out of the country and re-enter the country and it was deemed non-essential travel, then you got to go through this process. So that's why, for me, like right now, for me to fly out of the country and go visit somewhere, whatever the trip cost me, I have to budget another $3,000 or $2,000 to come home, just to be able to come home.
That's unreal.
And
Man.
so it's a bad deal, boys.
I
and
know,
it-
I know, I know some people know about the vaccine and stuff, but I think Canada's vaccine experiment with China has failed.
Oh hell, we knew that 2 months ago.
So I don't
I don't
know.
mean to be political, but you won't ever see me get that shot.
Well,
We know that.
We're not going to be political, but I'm
I'm
just
not
saying.
going
No.
to be in
So
10 years and that commercial come on that says, "Did you take the vaccine in 2021?"
If so,
So,
please call this number.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just a bad deal what they've got going on right now. So I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not traveling because that's the deal. But I mean, the worst part is that we have some Canadians that have gone down to the States and they call it snowbirding. So basically what happens is November comes up, snow flies here, they fly to Florida. They spend 6 months down in Florida.
Oh, I know.
And then their 6 months come up, they fly home. Well, down in Florida, a lot of people that snowbird have already got their 2 vaccinations already. So they're fully vaccinated. Well, guess what? When they come home, they've still got to go through this process.
Yeah.
So it's
had a-
bad. Like I said,
We had
it's
a
bad
rail.
deal.
Yeah, the company I worked for had a rail safety guy. He wasn't a safety guy; he was an instructor. He flew. He drove down every single year down to his little place down in Florida. He said. I only can stay in the States for 180 days. That's it.
Yep.
And then I got to come home.
Yep.
So 6 months out of the year, he's got a 2-way visa, I guess, that come stay in the States and then move back.
Yep.
He said, I beat the winter months in Canada and then I come back for the warmer months. But yeah, I mean, I feel sorry for you. I know that y'all miss a lot up there. We're not opening up no time soon. I know Michael's Arkansas is pretty much opened up. Kentucky's probably going to be the last state to open up. I think probably it's going to be a race between New York and California. We're racing them to see who can open up last. Really, he wants 2.5 million people vaccinated. We're sitting at 1.5, and that he even said that does not include masks. So when he opens up, masks will still be required. So, yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it's a bad deal. So
It is a bad deal. I know masks gonna be required at the Dream. They already said that, but
we're looking forward to next year because next year I think finally we're gonna be. I think we'll be fully opened up here by next year. That's what I'm hoping for. So
you think a Daytona 500?
we're actually, my wife and I have been talking. When it looks like we're going to be heading down for 2023.
2023.
Yeah, we're going to head down for 2023 and take our daughter to Disney World at the same time. So,
Oof. I'm dreading mine to Disney in July.
You got your.
Before we come on, I was showing my youngest boy what all was there for us to do.
I'm gonna tell you something. I've been to Disney twice. Second time I went was just one day. We only went for one day. The first time we went, it was. I think we went for 3 days, 2 or 3 days and stuff. We never went the full experience, right? The week experience. A lot of walking, very long walks.
Mm.
I
think we calculated our steps one time. We walked over 15,000 steps, and didn't get to see it all.
I was going to tell you, Michael, buy yourself a real nice pair of shoes and get them good and broke in before you go down there.
Yep. The parking lot you got to actually take a tram, and then you can take a train, a boat, or whatever to the parks. I'm gonna tell you, if you ain't went, I mean, it's pretty awesome, even for adult to see the kids glow. I mean, it's awesome. I think we're going down. We'll probably go down sometime this fall, or probably somewhere. Wife about to start her bachelor program, so I think we're going to Universal this time. I think we're going to hit the Universal up. It's good experience and stuff. But we all need to go to Daytona. I mean, I'm looking forward to that. Daytona's a beast. by far, I think.
Yep. Yeah. Well, we're planning 2023. We should be down there. So that's the plan at this point. So
Yeah, I've not called my ticket guy to book something. I know I'm going to Martinsville Halloween weekend. I've telling Michael I think I'm gonna fly down to Charlotte probably on a Thursday. Go to the race shops on Friday. Hall of Fame Thursday afternoon. We're gonna go to Hall of Fame. Depending on what time I get a flight. Visit race shops on Friday, and then truck series and Xfinity races on Saturday doubleheader, and then a couple races on Sunday. So only thing I hate, I'm missing one of my favorite holidays is Halloween. I love giving out candy to the kids, but you know,
I'm like Scrooge. I got to be put in a room for Halloween.
well, I kind of enjoy it. The subdivision we live in. I mean, we probably have every bit of probably 1,000 kids that come around. We have people that come to our neighborhood because it's all closed up. So I kind of enjoy giving out candy and seeing the stuff. I actually dress up. I usually dress up with a scarecrow mask and scare the little kids. But
I wouldn't know what to do if we got 1,000 kids. When we had Halloween, we didn't have anything last year, but the year before we had 8 kids.
Yeah, and we usually have. Last year I actually ran out of candy and bought 3 big bags at Sam's, and
Yeah.
I ran out of candy. So
Wow.
you know, and they come from 4:30 to 8, so a big wide gap.
Yep.
And you know,
I'm
been
the
wanting
old
to do.
man that
I want to do something.
I'm the old man that sits out back and says, "Get off my lawn."
You is that the Arkansas way?
No,
No.
it just irritates me when you get adults that come up and act like a child.
Yeah.
Oh, it just
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bracket deal, we're gonna get them out. I finished dead last in the bracket, the March Madness bracket.
That's gonna cost you
Yep, I'm gonna have a Joey Logano paint scheme by John Fowler
for the charity race.
For the
when
charity
we get
race,
that done, yeah.
we need to get to planning on that deal. We've done nothing really, basically, but
yeah, I know.
We'll get on it.
And then Michael finished second, and Jeremy Klein finished third. So we'll get them prizes out sometime this week.
Who won it?
Marcus Bratcher.
Marcus Bratcher won it. That's right. Congratulations.
He had he had Gonzaga winning, Baylor won.
He had Gonzaga winner.
Yeah. I had a chance to beat him if I had Michigan win it all the way, but they failed and stuff.
Hey,
so
you finished behind.
Never pick a Big Ten school.
You finished behind me, and I was like, "Damn, that's pretty bad." If you finished behind me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I know. Michael, what's on tap for you this weekend, brother?
Man, we ain't racing this weekend at Batesville. They're taking the week off. We didn't get to go to the races last week. It looked like it was fixing to storm, and it stormed just to the north of us. It sprinkled. I felt like we could have still ran, but we canceled. Save people some travel just in case it did rain. But I don't know, man. Travis kind of got me intrigued on going to West Memphis this weekend. I can't make Plummerville because it's an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes from my house, from my house to there, and I work, almost 30 minutes out of town, so that one's not going to happen. But man, Saturday may have to go out there and check it out.
Yeah, I'm debating. I'm thinking. I really want to go to Nashville. I think a Nashville opener. There's got a dirt race real close to me, about 30 minutes away, that's getting me intrigued. They keep adding money to the purse, which is probably going to make the car count go up. It's a Jake Hampton Memorial guy, a guy that passed away about 2 years ago. Real well-known racer around here, had a vehicle crash, personal vehicle crash, and he got killed. Was a bad deal. He was anywhere he showed up the racetrack, he was a contender to win. It sucked to have miss him, but I look forward to trying to go to a racetrack this weekend. I ain't been to one all year, besides Florence. which I didn't really enjoy that experience. But I really look forward to it. Y'all run next week though, right? Baseball.
Yeah, the Southern Outlaw Lake Mall Series versus what is that race called? Let me check right quick because
It's
it's gonna be a good one. And I was wrong on that series that we talked about. It's the LMRA. It's a
the
series
Lucas
based.
Oil. Is it the Lucas Oil MLRA?
No, it's not the Lucas Oil. It's just the LMRA. It's a series kind of based out of Mississippi.
Okay.
It's not the Lucas Oil like they run there at their track. So I'm looking forward to that next week. It's a 2-day show too, so I'll have a street stock show as well.
Heck yeah. Richmond preview. We already said our picks. I think Michael's got James Davison. I think Matt's got Corey LaJoy or somebody like that. And then, of course, I've got Denny Hamlin. So we're pretty good. I think I got this one now. No.
Okay.
Michael's got who you got this week?
Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch. And Matt, you got
Brad K.
And I got Denny Hamlin. Daytime, I don't know if Kyle can do it. We can see.
Yeah, well, I was kind of on the fence between him or Kurt, and then Kevin Harvick, but
nah, I wouldn't. I'd stay away from Kevin Harvick right now.
Yeah, I mean he's due a win. He's due for a good race, but I don't think Richmond's
It's kind of hard to win when you back there in 10th to 15th place car every week.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they're on 5th to 10th place car right now.
I'm gonna tell you something. It's God honest truth. If that crash did not happen Sunday, I don't think he finished in the top 15. I really don't. I don't think Kevin Harvick finished top 15. He struggled so hard with tight conditions, and
they all struggled. All the SH cars struggled at Martinsville.
I'm gonna tell you something. I think Eric Almirola is not back in the 10 car next year.
No.
Even if he's got sponsorship, I mean,
they're not looking good, boys.
I mean, we got to give props. And they said on door up clear, forgot for us. Say, got to give props to Quinn Howe for actually passing Jamie McMurray after 8 races.
That's ridiculous. He can come out from underneath that rock now and show his face.
8 races in, and he finally passes Jamie McMurray. But I'm gonna tell you something. Eric Almirola is right there with him. I mean, that's how bad they're running. You know.
Well, they've dug themselves. They have dug themselves a hole. They have no choice now. If they're going to make the playoffs now,
they got to win.
They have to win.
Hey, he could win at Talladega. I mean, he's always good at Super Speedway, and if he don't get caught up in that wreck at Daytona, he might have won it. I mean, he had one of the best cars.
He did, but they have to win. That's the hole they've dug themselves now. They have to win. They are not going to point their way in.
I think Matty D's in that same situation. I think you've got all the ace. The Stuart Haas cars. I think Cole Custer's got to be probably in a win situation. You have, of course, you got Eric Almirola in a win situation. I don't think we see the same group of drivers that we said last year. Did we see Chase Briscoe get the playoffs? So does he make the playoffs?
Nope.
Unless he wins a road course.
Nope. He has to win a race. He's kind of in the same boat. He's going to have to win a race. I
got a driver in mind that I'm going to share with you that I'm probably going to put into the lineup this week, and that's Austin Cindric. He's running a couple of races this week.
You know, I've used Austin Cindric in the races that he's ran, and he has let me down.
Well, he's only ran 2.
I know.
The thing for me is that
course at one.
The thing for me is that I like running him because he's never going to run 10 races, and he's going to get you probably a 20th place finish. So it's like, okay, well, that's not bad. I mean, he's kind of,
But Brad K got me last week. Not immediate.
Well,
I still
Hey,
won, but I still beat everybody by 30. But
well, but he got wrecked. But what was it? Who wrecked? Who was it? Oh yeah, Ross Chastain wrecked him first.
I
Turned
can tell
him
you
and
right
wrecked.
now, there was a couple drivers that wanted to get Ross Chastain's head.
Yeah, he's not making no friends right now.
He ain't making no friends.
No, but but that got him back there, and then of course, he had that wreck missed until he got plowed into there.
Yeah, I think Richmond's going to be a little bit different than Martinsville. I don't think it's going to be a lot more beat and bang because I really wouldn't call Richmond it's a short track, but it's not built like a short track, right?
Typically Richmond guys that run well at Phoenix are going to run well at Richmond. That's usually how that deal works. Right. Typically, if you run okay at Phoenix, you're going to run okay at Richmond. So
what do we? So you think one of our 3 picks are going to win it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Think one of our?
No.
I don't think so. I think Denny has the best shot to win it.
I think I don't think Kyle Busch is going to win it, but I think between Willie and me, I will not be surprised to see either Hamlin or
Brad K
win it.
Yeah. We're 8 races in. We're wrapping up. We're 8 races in. Who's the favorite to win championship right now? If we go to Final Four, who's the Final Four? Who's the 4 you put in right now? Matt, who's the 4 that you put in right now?
Truex. Hamlin. Elliott.
Just go ahead and say it.
And Byron. That's who I'm putting in right now. That would be my 4.
Michael.
Joey. Denny. Truex. And man, that last position's kind of a toss up, but I may have to go with Byron on that.
I got Truex. I got Denny. Blaney. And I do think the 4th driver is going to be a wild card. And I really think that he's going to come on late, and I think that's going to be Harvick. Now, I'm throwing him out there is because we're so far away from the points. I do think he gets wins, and I think they finally figure it out. But if we're talking now, Harvick's probably not in the question. I had to say that 4th driver probably Elliott. Now, I think Truex probably wins the championship as of right now. I think he's probably the strongest team out there. That's my opinion.
They're running pretty good.
2 wins. I mean, you can't. Does Truex win more than 4 races?
No. I think he gets 4, but I don't think he wins more than 4.
You think he gets 4, no more 4?
I think he's going to get 4, but I don't think he's going to get more than 4.
If I had Truex in the bank this week for picking, I'd pick him. I think he goes back to back this week.
Well, I mean, the reason I'm putting Byron in right now is because they tanked Daytona, both races. Like they had bad finishes at both races,
right?
But he has 6 consecutive top 10 finishes, 6 race top 10 finish streak going on right now.
All right.
They have not finished out of the top 10 since Daytona.
One name that is not mentioned that is pretty much on fire is Kyle Larson. Why is that? Why do you think we didn't pick Kyle Larson? I can tell you why I didn't pick Kyle Larson. I think he's hot now, but I think he's like a Matt Kenseth. He's going to fade off.
You know what? For me, it's the inconsistency.
Yeah.
He's not putting together consistent finishes because he's at the point right now where he's either lighting the world on fire and he's going to get a top 5 or he's going to be 10th or 20th. He's not running that consistent up front. Like the guys that are running consistently up front, and it always seems to be this year after year, it's the guys that are consistently running up front all year are usually going to be your Final 4. We got an 8-race sample right now, and the drivers that I listed off, for the most part, have been the guys that have been running very consistently in the top 10 almost every race.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, strongest team. We'll leave with this. What's the strongest team out there right now? The organization. Michael, strongest organization.
Sadly, I hate to say it, but I think it's Joe Gibbs.
What? No. I think by far I'd say it's probably Hendrick, because you got Byron, Elliott, and Larson all running good. Bowman probably would have finished top 10. I think they'd had all cars in top 10.
I would say right now I give the edge to Hendrick, and the only reason I give the edge to Hendrick is because of that organization. I could see all 4 cars potentially pulling out a win. Joe Gibbs right now, Kyle Busch scares me a little bit.
Oh, all 4 of them get to win. All 4 of them get to win.
I think so, but Kyle Busch right now, to me, is not going to be the first name that's going to come off my tongue to be a contender for a win. I'm not saying he's not going to get one, because I'm sure he is, but it's just when.
I think that this year, all four Gibbs cars going to make the playoffs. All 4 of Hendrick cars going to make the playoffs, and then all 3 Penske cars are going to make the playoffs. All right,
totally.
So we're sitting at 11.
Yep.
And you've got McDowell in there. Okay, then I really think that Childress going to get 1 car in there. I don't know if it's Kyler Reddick or Austin Dillon. I still think they're going to point. I think they're going to point their way in. One of them's going to point their way in.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you're still going to have some oddballs in there. I mean,
well, you got to put Harvick in there. We haven't even put Harvick in there yet.
Yeah, that's the only driver that I see
right.
making that.
And I honestly think of the remaining 3 Haas drivers, one of them is going to pull up an upset win like Custer did last year, or Custer did at Kentucky last year.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's going to be, there's going to be one of them, and I still don't think we're done with surprise winners this year.
I think AJ Allmendinger wins a road course race.
It's possible, but that he's not going to be eligible for the playoffs. So
nope. That's
where did he finish Saturday?
Who, Dinger?
Yeah.
Oh, Dinger went a lap down. He had a vibration or something.
But he did. But he come back and finished
12th or 13th, something like that.
Yeah, he didn't finish that bad.
I forgot that, man. What did the penalty they gave Jeb Burton Saturday was the bullshitest call that I've ever seen.
I agree.
Okay? If there is not a rule in the rule book, you cannot penalize a person and tell them go to the back over a non-rule. They said the explanation that they gave the team was he was 300 yards behind the choose rule. That's how big a gap of 300 yards.
Yeah.
The whole front straightaway is 300 yards.
Yeah,
it worked out good for him because they got off on the wrong strategy. And
you know what? NASCAR was really pushing a fine line on that one. And I think it was unfortunately he got made an example out of.
Oh, that's exactly what that was. And stuff.
So.
All right. I got one more question, one more thing. Little thrower. Out of the Xfinity drivers, name 3 that you see in Cup within 4 years.
Within 4 years?
Within 4 years. 3 of them. Just 3.
Gregson, Harrison Burton, and
don't throw Austin Sugar because he's already there.
No, I'm not putting Cindric in. Gregson, Harrison Burton, and probably. See, the next one I'm struggling with a little bit. Honestly, the way he's been running, I could see the Dinger back in.
I don't think Dinger wants to go.
I don't know, but I think he's running good enough that he could, if he wanted to, I bet you could get back in there. And the thing is that if Collick decided to go Cup racing,
no, that's
I
Haley's
could definitely
ride.
see it.
That's Haley's ride.
Could be, but you know what? If he goes 2 cars with the new car,
well, they're going Cup racing. They already said they're going Cup racing in 2022.
if they run 2 cars, I could see AJ Allmendinger filling out that second car.
Junior's talking about going cup racing.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it is,
Junior Motorsports, he's talking about going cup racing now.
But the thing about it is, who are you going to, I mean, where are you getting these charters from?
Well, that's where the charter system is going to have a huge problem here right away.
Well, I think that's what's hurting the sport.
I think the problem is what's going to happen is that the charter system is going to end up being where NASCAR's with you ain't going to get 4 charters, you're going to get 3. If they're going to keep the charter system, it's going to end up being that every team gets 3 charters at a maximum. That's the most you can own.
But like we're sitting at Jordan, like the charter system and the points and stuff like that, where we're setting the fields. Jordan Anderson has still yet to get his Xfinity car out the garage, out of the shop.
Well,
He can't make it.
He needs a qualifying race. He needs qualifying. He needs qualifying.
We're sitting at 38 cars, for 37 cars for Richmond. 440 spots. We're not filling a field up. Next year, we're going to have over 40 cars. I would not be surprised if we don't see 50 cars trying to make the Daytona 500.
Maybe not next year.
I think we do.
The new car is going to be the issue for next year.
If they can get enough parts built.
2023, I agree with you. I would not be surprised in 2023 if we saw 50 cars show up. But then again, we have that same problem right now that we had talked about after Daytona, where only 2 guys are going to race their way in on how they've got things set up right now.
But if they have, say this, if they have, I see if NASCAR sees interest in, do they expand the field back to 43?
You know
if they
what?
Had 50 cars, if they have 50 teams, say, okay, we're going to run full time.
If you had 50 cars showing up on a regular basis to qualify for races, I could see them go back up to 43.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Well, boys, it's been fun. I enjoyed it. We're going to do it again next week. We're going to try to get, I don't know. We'll see who the winner is, Nashville, who the winner is, Comp Series. See about getting one of them guys on. Talk about their win. Both of them's got big races coming up. And then we're going to Talladega next week, so that's going to be fun to watch. And then
I'm not looking forward to picking that one.
Yeah, that's going to be.
I've already got my lineup ready to go in. I even got my pick ready.
Brad Kay's going to be one. Joey Logano's going to be one. Blaney's going to be one. Well, Matty D, I wouldn't even put Matty D in Xfinity Series.
As long as Michael's buddy Logano's running up front, you guarantee the whole field's going to wreck behind him at some point.
We better not have a relapse of Daytona.
Nope.
Oh, man.
Michael, who wins Tyler County tomorrow?
Boy, I don't know. I'm going to say Turbo. Turbo's going, I believe.
Turbo will be there. Tanner English picks up the win. I think Tanner gets it done. It'll be a good race. 5:30. 5:30 Central.
I'm watching it. I'm definitely watching.
And when it comes to iRacing, we didn't really touch on the iRacing this week, but
I'm on a hot streak. Streak.
Michael's on a hot streak. But for the Mid-South Virtual League, there's going to be an announcement on the show next Wednesday. You boys got to watch it for a Friday night series that we're going to be starting here probably middle of May. I'm kind of shooting for a middle of May start. And if you bring in your feelings, you better check them at the door.
That's right. All right, boys. Enjoy your week. I'm sure we'll get on bullshit, and we'll do it again next week.
Yeah, you bet. Have a good one, guys.
See y'all.
See y'all. Appreciate you watching.
See y'all.